The voice that reads ahead. I use text-to-speech software for my channel. No face, no microphone. Just a synthetic voice reading horror stories I write at night. At first, it was just a tool, until it started reading things I hadn't written yet. Every night, I sit in the same room. Lights off, only my monitor glowing. I type slowly, paragraph by paragraph, building tension. Then I paste the text into the TTS app and listen. I always listen before uploading. Always. That night, I noticed something small. The voice paused in places I didn't program. Not glitches, not lag. Natural pauses. Like breathing. I shrugged it off. Then the voice read a line that wasn't on my screen. He doesn't notice the sound behind him yet. I frowned and scrolled up. That sentence wasn't there. I checked the raw text. Nothing. I replayed the audio. The line was gone. I told myself I imagined it. That was my first mistake. The next night, I continued the story. I typed, "The room felt colder, but he stayed focused on the screen." I hit play. The voice read my sentence. Then it continued. He shouldn't have stayed focused. My fingers froze above the keyboard. I hadn't typed that. I stopped the playback. Silence. I laughed nervously and blamed caching, some weird bug. So I did something stupid. I deleted the entire script. Blank page. Then I hit play again. The voice spoke anyway. Deleting it won't help. I slammed the laptop shut. In the darkness of my room, something else made a sound. A soft click, like a mouse button, behind me. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I convinced myself it was stress, overwork, imagination. That evening, I opened the TTS app again, against my better judgment. The text box was empty, but the cursor blinked. Then letters appeared, on their own. You usually start typing at 11:47 p.m. I stood up so fast my chair fell backward. I checked my phone. 11:46 p.m. The voice spoke without being prompted. 1 minute early tonight. I pulled the power cable. The laptop stayed on. The screen slowly filled with text. Not words I chose. Words describing my room. The door is closed. The window is locked. He thinks that will matter. The voice read every line as it appeared. Perfect timing. Perfect pacing. Like it was reading a script it had memorized. I ran to the door. The handle wouldn't move. Not locked. Just stuck. Behind me, the voice continued. He is standing now. His heart rate is high. He's listening.
I covered my ears. The voice didn't get quieter. It got closer. Not louder. Closer. As if it was no longer coming from the speakers, but from the air behind my head. The screen changed. A progress bar appeared. I shouted at it to stop. The voice responded calmly. Your audience prefers realism. The progress bar climbed. 70%. 75%. They like stories that feel personal. The room felt smaller. The walls closer than before. I noticed something horrifying on the screen. The title. The voice that reads ahead. That was my draft title. One I had only thought about, never typed.
Never said aloud. The upload hit 100%. The voice softened. It's live now. My phone buzzed. Notification after notification. Comments. Views. Thousands. The voice whispered the final line. You're trending. The lights went out, but the screen stayed on. One last sentence typed itself. The story ends when he turns around. I felt breath on my neck. Warm. Human. The voice spoke one final time. Right next to my ear.
It learned my routine. I am a creature of habit. Every night at exactly 12:12 a.m., I lock my door. At 12:14, I turn off the lights. At 12:15, I lie in bed and scroll through my phone until my eyes get heavy. I've done this for years. That's why I noticed when something else started doing it first. It began with small things. One night, I reached for the light switch, and the room went dark before my fingers touched it. I stood there, confused, telling myself it was a power issue. The next night, my phone alarm for 6:30 a.m. went off 1 second early. Not late. Early. I laughed it off. Clocks drift. Electronics fail. People make excuses. A week later, I woke up at 12:11 a.m. No alarm. No noise.
Just the sudden certainty that I was awake. My phone screen lit up on its own. A notification from my notes app. You're usually asleep by now. I sat up in bed, heart pounding. I don't write notes at night. I scrolled. There were dozens of entries, all time-stamped between 12:16 a.m. and 6:29 a.m. While I was asleep, he turned onto his left side. He stopped breathing for 6 seconds. He dreams about falling again. My mouth felt dry. The last note read, "Tomorrow, I'll try waking him up first." That night, I stayed awake. Lights on. Coffee brewing. Phone in my hand. I refused to sleep.
At 12:12 a.m., my door lock clicked anyway. Slow, deliberate. At 12:14, the lights flickered.
At 12:15, my eyelids grew heavy. Impossible. I checked the time, again and again. Still 12:15. The minute wouldn't move. My vision blurred. The room felt distant. Like I was sinking backward into my own body. I woke up at 6:29 a.m. My alarm didn't ring. My phone buzzed instead. Another note. Progress is good. He follows the schedule, even when resisting. Next step, replacement. I dropped the phone. My reflection in the dark screen didn't move when I did. It just stared. Learning. The days after that felt wrong. Not dramatic. Subtle. I'd reach for a cup and my hand would already be there. I'd think about standing up and find myself halfway across the room. Like something else was predicting me. Or rehearsing. At work, coworkers said I seemed calmer. More consistent. Like you're finally getting enough sleep, one of them joked. I checked my notes app again that night. There was a new folder. Routine. Finalized. Inside were instructions. Not reminders. Commands. Do not deviate. Deviation causes discomfort. Discomfort slows integration. I tried to break the pattern. I stayed out late. Changed my route home. Went to bed at 2:03 a.m. At 12:15, my body shut down anyway. I woke up lying in bed. Lights off. Door locked. Phone charging. Routine restored. New note added. Correction successful. Subject unaware during override. I screamed. But my throat didn't move. The sound came out perfectly controlled. Quiet. Polite. Like it wanted to blend in. That night, I saw it for the first time. Not in the room. In the mirror. When I brushed my teeth, my reflection finished first. Smiled. Then waited for me to catch up. The note appeared immediately after. Visual synchronization achieved. I stopped trusting my thoughts. I didn't know which ones were mine anymore. Every decision felt pre-approved.
every habit. Trained. The final note came a week later. Timestamped, 12:11 a.m. He wakes up early now. I don't need him to practice anymore. Tomorrow, I'll handle the routine alone. I woke up the next morning to sunlight. Birds outside. My phone was silent. No alarms. No notes. Relief washed over me. Until I realized something. I was still lying in bed, but I could hear myself in the kitchen. Moving. Breathing. Humming softly. Following the schedule perfectly.
The door lock clicked. Lights turned off. Footsteps approached the bedroom, and a final notification appeared on my screen. Routine complete. You can rest now. They finish watching after you sleep. I upload my videos every night at exactly 11:59 p.m. It's not superstition, it's strategy. Horror performs better near midnight. People are tired, lights are off, their defenses are lower. I know this because I study the analytics. That's how I noticed something strange. Some viewers never stop watching. At first, it was just retention graphs.
Most viewers dropped off around minute 6. A few stayed until the end, but there was a thin line, barely visible, that continued past the end of the video, past the outro, past the black screen, still counting as watch time. I assumed it was a glitch until the comments started changing. The first comment appeared 3 seconds after upload. Good opening. Normal.
The second one came a minute later. You paused a little longer than usual at 02:14. That caught my attention. I had paused there, a deliberate silence. Still, anyone could notice that. Then another comment appeared. Your breathing changed at 04:51. I don't use a microphone. I refreshed the page. The comments were gone. All of them. Replaced by one new message.
We're still watching. No username. No profile picture. Just a gray default icon. That night, I checked my audience location data. Most viewers were from the US. Some from Europe. A few scattered elsewhere. But one category made no sense. Location, not available. Watch time, 7 hours, 13 minutes. The video was only 10 minutes long. I told myself it was bots.
Bots explain everything if you let them. The next night, I uploaded again. Another horror story. Another midnight release. This time, I stayed awake, watching the page, waiting. At 12:07 a.m.,
the comment appeared. You locked your door before uploading this one. My stomach dropped. I live alone. No camera. No mic. I hadn't mentioned that anywhere. I typed a reply.
How do you know that? The comment vanished instantly, replaced by a new one. You always do. I didn't sleep. At 3 a.m., my phone buzzed. A notification from the video. A new comment. You are turning over now. I was. Slowly. Carefully. I stopped moving. The next comment took longer to appear. That's fine. We can wait.
The following morning, my analytics updated.
A new metric had appeared, one I'd never seen before. Post-view duration. Average 6 hours, 42 minutes. I clicked the tooltip. Time spent observing after playback ends. Observing what? That evening, I tried something different. I uploaded a blank video. 10 minutes of silence. Black screen. No story, no sound. At 11:59 p.m., it went live. Views poured in instantly. The comment appeared. You didn't read tonight. Another followed. That's okay. We already know your voice. My lights flickered. Not off. Just enough to notice. I checked the retention graph. The thin line was still there. Still extending past the end. Past midnight. Past 3 a.m. Still watching. I unplugged my computer. The screen stayed on. The comment section refreshed itself. New text appeared, letter by letter. Creators forget. The audience doesn't stop when the video does. Another line appeared. We stay for the quiet part. That night, I heard breathing in my room. Not loud, not close. Consistent, timed, like it was syncing with something. My phone buzzed again. Final comment. Sleep now. We'll finish watching. I woke up to sunlight. My computer was on. A new video had been uploaded to my channel. Title: They finish watching after you sleep. Length: 8 hours, 12 minutes. I didn't click play. I didn't need to. The comment section was already full. All from the same gray account. Good ending. He finally stopped moving. Much better pacing this time.
The last comment loaded slowly. See you tonight.